servicing other banks. We don't deal with wealth management, we don't deal with clients or retail, only servicing banks that are servicing other banks. Let's see what it's all about. 1973 was the first SWIFT message sent between banks. By the year of 2013, and almost 30 years later, last year, 2 years ago, we had 5 billion international wires between banks worldwide. 92% of money exchanging hands by the end of this day exchange hands between banks. E-payments are great, e-wallets are great. Eventually, people for trust, compliance, and legal issues are using banks to send money. 15% of P&L of banks worldwide, 15% of revenues generated by banks is because they are servicing other banks. This year, $21 trillion exchanged hands between banks. The cost of processing those $21 trillion is $77 billion. This is what it's all about. It's a huge market, but it's slow, it's outdated, and it's relatively expensive. So when people are wiring money from one place to another, they think the money is actually going from one place to another. However, in reality, we have a sender, we have a receiver. Every one of them, each one of them has their own banks and they don't have relationship. So they're using correspondent banks in between. So this bank, the first bank is moving the money to Citi, then it moves to JP Morgan, then it goes to Bank One, right? Well, almost right. In reality, it's a bit more complicated. So the first bank, they have 3 options. They can send the money to each of those banks. The second bank in the route has 5 of their own options. And so on and so forth. If you want to really think how complicated it is in reality, just look at my shirt. I thought of using the blue guy, but I had too many dots. By the way, we love the sign, very similar to that. So what Wayerz does is we provide the routing. We can show the bank what is the cheapest route for the bank, for the money to move from point A to point B. We can show them what is the safest or less riskier route, or we can show them what is the fastest route. Think of us as a navigation system. If you're sitting in your car wanting to drive to Jerusalem, you will open your iPhone, you put your destination, and you see all different routes. This is what we do for the banks with that huge industry. Our platform basically covers, in all different languages, obviously Chinese included, all the relationship between banks when they're starting to negotiate between one another, when they're coming to a commercial agreement, when they execute the wires, when they send each other bills. So how it actually looks, this is a screenshot of our system where we can actually show the banker what are all the alternatives, how much each alternative costs compared to the other one. We can show them actually what is the exact profit and loss for each and every route, how much you're charging your client for that route, and how much you're going to pay. Today, banks are using an amazing technology to send each other bills by the end of the month. They're using a fax machine, or some of them are even using regular mail. What we developed is a unified billing system worldwide, allowing every bank to send the bill to all the other banks that they're servicing from one another. We're targeting small, medium banks, obviously, and some big corporations that are doing 5,000 wires a month themselves. We actually compete with fax machine. We compete with some of the technology provided by those banks. But today, what we saw, that there is no similar technology for banks. Today, banks are moving money between themselves on a random basis. So this is the team, obviously. Everybody is a colorful guy. So we are a group of bankers, international bankers, we're technologists, and some business people grouped together to come up with a solution after interviewing 25 banks worldwide about their needs, about their best practices, about what kind of a solution they would buy. Thank you very much.